Blizzard has finally come out and made a statement about the ongoing investigation and battle against lag and latency. I wanted to share this and talk about it with y'all. So let's read. So it says, this is from Ghost Signals, who is the new community manager for Diablo Immortal. Now, before they were formally introduced, I had the pleasure of briefly talking to them in Discord, and they seemed very genuine, as well, I'll say. Again, this is not a hashtag ad. I am not paid by Diablo Immortal or Blizzard to give you a biased opinion. In fact, I'm not paid by them at all. They just support us in ways of direct lines of communication and or these in-game skins that we get, which is phenomenal, and I appreciate that. And there's a monetary value associated with that, but no, we do not get that monetary value, if that makes sense. We get the in-game cosmetic. But so I can be as honest as I want and as genuine as I can be with you guys. So I will be just that. So let's read this, and then I will give you my thoughts and opinions, and we'll talk about other things. So along this line. So greetings, adventurer. We want to take a moment to thank you all for sharing your experiences with lag and giving us the information that you have been. It's been extremely helpful and has enabled us to investigate the root cause of these problems. We want to let you know that we are continuing to investigate your reports of lag and latency across the game, and that is currently a huge priority for our team. Now, I'm gonna again stop as I read this and give my insight. I've already read this. I'll lead with that. I've already read this. When I first read this, I'm not going to lie, the first thing that came to mind was cap. Because I think that it is not a whole team. Obviously, it's probably a specific person or person's focus, but not a huge priority for the whole team. However, he goes on to make a comment later on that really reinforces this for me, and I actually appreciate that. And let's get to that. So a few weeks ago, we asked for your help to find the source of lag and latency issues that have been affecting players across the game. I want to thank you all for taking the time. Again, he sort of repeats himself like he did in the last one. For taking the time to share your experiences. Your reports help us find the cause of these kinds of issues and address them as quickly as we can. Now, again, this was sort of a regurgitated statement of the previous statement, and then he goes into saying we are getting closer to finding a few solutions that we feel have the potential to address some of the issues in some areas of the game. Now, while this is vague, it's actually quite specific, and I'll expand here in a second. We'll also continue to investigate lag and latencies in other areas. While these issues may all look the same from the outside, the underlying issues that cause the lag and latency can be very different. Now, this was actually this paragraph, if you will, actually I respected a lot, and I still do respect it a lot, because it is a window of clear communication, in my opinion, because it's so vague and not super specific. I know it's real. You know what I mean? Like, this is a very real sentiment. They are closer to getting solutions to a few different issues. You know what I mean? Essentially, like if I were to translate this into like real life human speak, they are saying that they have found a few potential things that cause some lag in parts of the game, but they have no idea what is causing the overall lag in all the different aspects of the game. So to me, what up, Gad? Good to see you, bud. So to me, I think this is like the realest statement that we could have gotten from them, outside of, again, not to be overly critical, but a regurgitated statement thanking us. Now, again, if he didn't thank us, we would be destroying them for like not saying thank you. So I'm not saying that I don't appreciate that. What I am saying is I deeply appreciate the realness of this comment. You know what I mean? Like this is legit. This is an actual person's with insights feedback, and I love that. I think this is a what I want to say is like a uncommon W for Ghost Signals at this point. You know what I mean? Like he introduced himself to the community, very open that like he plays Diablo Immortal, but not a ton. And he's trying to learn as much as possible. He was very open to the Diablo partners about wanting to learn more and leaning on us to help expand his knowledge and or understanding of the game in certain areas that he might not have that same level of detail. Dude, he's a human being, and I love that. You know what I mean? Like, that's fantastic. So for him to come out and then, share this user thread, which obviously I would encourage you to use, and you can post on the different topics that you're seeing. Too bad. All right. but I do really love how awesome this real statement was. Now let's continue. We want to thank you all for your patience as we work to address the situation. I knew when I yelled that would be too loud for her. She's probably trying to go to bed. We work to address the situation. We know the lag and latency may have had some negative impacts on many of our players, and we'll be looking into the right, and we'll be looking into making that right after the situation has been resolved. This alludes to some amount of compensation, and this could be a hot take. What up, James? Good to see you, bud. This could be, and what up, Martin? I didn't see you join, but hey, man, how are you? I appreciate the fact they are saying they're going to, in theory, compensate us. I don't personally, and this could be a hot take, I don't feel like I need to be compensated for them fixing the game in this aspect. Is it a problem? Absolutely. I care way more that you fix it than you do with compensating, because with compensation turns into, sort of like Remy was saying about resonance earlier, it turns into a double-edged sword where, was it enough? And then it turns into a measuring point to, okay, if this is the amount of compensation we got for this situation, then if a situation is deemed worse than this, we should have gotten more compensation. And it turns into like this never-ending pitfall for the company to never be successful if they give compensation where it probably isn't, impacted. You know what I mean? Like, the compensation for me is the fact the game is working and that I won't have to deal with lag, and that I can hypothetically go back to the monk at some point and jump around without actually being teleported back to the beginning of the dungeon or the beginning of PvP. You know what I mean? Like, it was wild. But he does ask us to continue to share our experiences with him on that forum thread. And they, once again, thank you, and they will see us in hell. Again, not uncommon W for Ghost Signals. And then Ellie said he really does seem much more invested in the community than anyone else has ever interacted with from Blizzard. Agreed. Gad says facts. Ellie said, I can appreciate that misery, but let's be real. When they talk about compensation, it's going to be a couple of crests and maybe 6 gems. I agree, and that's the problem. Like, it's more of an insult that's what we're going to get than not getting anything. It's sort of where I was going with that. Like, I don't want to be given something because I'm going to be disappointed with what you're giving me. Martin says, I'm good, mate. It's a day off, so I can tune in longer today. Last time we were talking, I was doing a sneaky while at work. Remy says, terrorist lags the worst for myself and most of my friends. I run them, but I will take 10 free essences for compensation. Facts, me too. I wish there was a way for me for the app to stop crashing. Agreed. That's also been an issue. That is wild for sure. Why willingly go back to the monk? Are you insane? I wouldn't say willingly. You know what I mean? I did say willingly, but like willingly. If I am told or encouraged to spin a wheel of death to pick my next class, sort of thing. You know what I mean? But ultimately, guys, I think this is a huge W for Ghost Signals and for Blizzard as a whole. Oh, I haven't done this yet. Maybe I'll do it later. But yeah, I think this is fantastic. I love this. 2 replies. What are the replies? Maybe not. But anyway, I really think this is awesome. So go show some love on the forums. I should probably make an account on the Diablo Immortal forums. I haven't done that yet. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about this, because honestly, I think this is, again, I love this paragraph. I cannot stress enough how much I love this paragraph, because I feel like it is a true and real heartfelt message from somebody who has enough insight to make that comment without lying. And that's a W in my book, at least.